Hey, Michael Joseph, and this is my podcast, The Making of a Star. Yes, at Manhattan Neighborhood Network. The best decision I ever made was becoming a member at Manhattan Neighborhood Network. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, come on. When I joined, it was really cheap back in the day when I first joined 59th Street. But anyway, I went to the Albadio studio uptown, 104th, right? I was also at 59th Street, but I took the how to make your own TV show. I took that class. And then I also took the editing class. So once you take the class, you get to have your own show, right? I did a whole year. My first season was at the other studio. Now you don't have to pay for class to have your own show, to get to use the equipment. And this is the new studio on 38th. And they got the podcast studio as well as the regular studio, TV studio, the big space, right? So I use both. I use the podcast studio and I use the big space, right? So my thing is the making of a star. Now, you don't have to just be in the music, acting, or modeling, film, or television business to be a star. You could be a star at whatever it is you do, right? Martin Luther King said if you're going to be a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper. If you drive a bus, you could be a star driving the bus. But no matter what, you're going to have to face obstacles and trials and tribulations. And you're always going to need a mentor. If you're going to do anything in life and go ahead, you definitely need someone that's been there, done that, to give you tips on how to go forward. So, anyway, today's my second podcast. I'm very happy, and I am very happy to introduce.
Leo Sax.
You see how he ain't say nothing this whole time, but they interrupt me. As soon as I get to his name, I was looking forward to saying your name properly. That's what a host does. We
Okay.
got to get your name right. Is it not Leonardo?
Leo Sax.
It's
Leo
not
Sax.
Leonardo Love.
Yes, but Leo Sax is my stage name.
Okay, we dealing with your real government. Okay,
Okay.
Leonardo Love,
Okay.
right?
That's right.
Leo, aka Leo Sax.
That's right.
Let me hear a little rip real quick with that. Something smooth. Leo Sax in the house, y'all. Okay, see, now that's the thing. Can't get him off the mic. Okay, that was good enough for me. That was nice right there. Bravo, bravo. That was really smooth. That was really smooth. Okay, so yo, tell me a little bit about yourself, Mr. Leo Sax.
Well, like any civilized human being, I have what you call ambition. I have a drive, and I felt like music was my passion from a child. I fell in love with Motown, Diana Ross, Supreme, Little Michael, Little Stevie, but the main guy that hit me was Junior Walker and the All Stars. And after listening to Roadrunner, What Does It Take to Win Your Love, Shotgun, and eventually I got my sax in like the early 80s. And then I got really serious around the early 90s. And I had two professional teachers, Sylvester Scott from Staten Island. He was working out of Trojan Music School. And then I came across a brother called Michael Carpenter. I was in his big band for about 4 years. And then they said the same thing. Just practice, study, keep your ears open. And I'm inspired by Junior Walker, Wilton Felder, Grover Washington, Gata Barbieri.
Let me hear a little Grover.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a tap, a Grover. Okay. I go. I go means I want to speak. I med means I am listening. So that's usually I use that when I have a guest or it's two or
Mm.
three, because people will be overlapping into each other.
Mm.
So when somebody says I go, that means I want to speak.
Okay.
And then when a person says I med, that means I am listening. So that makes people stop and
Mm.
it makes it go. I like that though.
Mm.
But so where you been? Where you at? Where you going? Right? Remember? Wait. Remember? I was telling you that I wanted my people to learn from your struggle
Mm.
and your hard time. See, one lesson that I learned is that people say, you got to get a mentor, right? But they don't really know what a mentor is. A good mentor is not just somebody that's successful,
Mm-hmm.
but someone that has failed and overcome. You want a mentor that's been through both. It's just like when you go to AA or NA for drug rehab and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When you go through the system, a lot of the people who work there used to be addicts themselves,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it's like, how you gonna teach me about being something you wasn't if you ain't experienced it yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as musicians bring all their pain into their music. You can hear it. It's like that's the thing that identifies us with them. What they going through is in their music, right? So when I say where you been, that's like, so you grew up where? Jamaica?
I grew up between the UK and Jamaica.
Yeah. Oh, wait, because I asked you when you said you said you're a citizen of the world,
That's
right?
right.
Okay, so you were born in the UK.
Yeah, Jamaican and Jamaican and a Cuban family, and so I had the opportunity to travel worldwide. Gates were open for me, and I like what you said about the struggle. I can put all those three in one category. I became a street musician, and for over 20 years, I became a street musician, and what I learned in the street is like you couldn't teach in a classroom because I could see the people who enjoyed what I did. I could see the people who was somewhat, I would say, resentful, and I could see the people who I made extra happy when I was performing street music. So, being a street musician, it opened many doors for me. In fact, most of my gigs came from the street. Most of my students, I ended up in the Jazzmobile.
I remember that 125th Street
Yeah,
though,
I did a semester in the Jazzmobile,
in Brooklyn too, right?
and like so, I've had countless opportunity just from being like ambitious and being having a personal drive with this instrument because this is the love of my life. I always make a fun that I love it. I love this more than a woman. I always say that, but that's
I
just
wouldn't say that. Not
well,
on the radio or national television.
I would say that for personal reasons.
I mean, but BB King used to call his guitar Lucille,
Yeah, that's
right?
right. So that was just a personal, just
I don't know. I'm just I got to be a host, so I got to keep it
yeah,
interesting.
description. But I've felt the passion for this instrument um, from I was like 10 years old.
Yeah, I want
And
to interrupt you for a moment.
yeah,
I go right. Ahmed, right? I go. Ahmed, Ahmed. Okay,
yeah,
okay. You say Ahmed.
I'm mad.
Okay, Ahmed.
All
Right.
right.
I go Ahmed. Now, but as you was talking, I kept picturing like this little boy finding a saxophone,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like shot like back in the day. Yeah, remember the Untouchables,
Mm.
the black and white films,
Mm-hmm.
gangster movies, right? Where there's like I can even hype it up, where the kid like shines shoes
Mm-hmm.
or something. He's a street house. You could tell he's a street hustler, but he's young, But he hustled because he got to it, And there's a shootout, right? Maybe some people are trying to muscle in on the store, the jazz store with all the equipment, and he's trying to muscle in on the guy's place. And the guy puts up a fight, right? And I don't know, maybe some shit blow up, and there's a sax is laid out on the sidewalk, and this little boy grabs it and picks it up and just walks with it and just like goes in the alley and just starts playing it. And then that becomes his life. It's like a little short story. Like he starts playing and he starts hanging out at the clubs and hanging out with older guys. And they throw him under the, yo, you got some talent there, you little nutcracker. Right? It's not that's not your story, right?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
I
But
can give
that's
you.
what you was making me picture.
Yeah, that's good for imagination. I can give you another scenario. Is that like from pursuing this, I have this concept of just being humble, and it led me to be very, I would say, underground success. People are always giving me saxophone. People are giving me like at least two or three saxophones, and I usually give the saxophones away to a student, and people still give me instruments. And on top of that, maybe it's karma. I end up into the New York Times. I written up in the New York Times in 221, and countless interviews, countless photos taken. It just proved the point that in New York, if you can do it here, you can do it anywhere. Still underground artist, but I still have my own band. The band is called the Cool Bridge Project. We're launching out this spring. We should be releasing an album by the end of the year. We consist of like 6 to 8 people. I finance the band, I finance the studios, I find a way to pay everyone for studio sessions, and that's coming together really collectively. And the next point is that I've been through a few churches, and the churches gave me a good vibration because, as you know very well, black musicians, if not all musicians, come from a church. So the church has played a serious role in my success so far.
Yeah, I want to interject. I'll go, right?
You go.
You go, you go. Yeah, I'm mad. So you go. That's funny. You got me off guard on that one. But as I was listening to you, it made me, it made me think about, my father threw my instruments away.
Mm.
I hadn't seen him in a long time. He had went to jail, got out of jail, came to the house. We had moved, and he was like, "You ain't gonna be no musician."
Wow.
And I had stuff that I won, that I won. So that means like Harlem Week. I grew up on 125th and Lenox. So we used to have Harlem Week in front of the state office building.
Mm.
It'd be a whole week of Harlem Week. They still have it. Be all type of events, carnivals, everything. And I was a kid, so I used to do the Michael Jackson. I did the James Brown. I used to conk my hair. I had every look Michael Jackson had. I had.
Mm.
That's why my hair don't grow no more, because I put so many chemicals in my head. My head stopped growing. So, but anyway, I used to win awards and stuff, and I had congas. I used to play the conga. I had both the big fucking congas. He threw them away, and then
Wow.
he wouldn't let me go get them either. And then I had art equipment that I won. I had stuff that I won from writing because I used to write for the school newspaper. So I won awards writing. Plus, I used to sell my writings
Wow.
to drug dealers. I don't know. I had this thing about drug dealers doing business with me. I don't know why. I need to edit that. But anyway, no, because it's the truth. You know, I used to, thugs in school wasn't poetic. I was in school. I wore a suit to school. I had a Bible in my briefcase and a notepad. I wanted to be a minister. So I was quoting scriptures all the time. And I was writing poetry. And guys used to pay me to write letters to their girlfriend.
Mm.
So I was like Cyrano de Bergerac in school, you know? But it just makes me sad. I wonder what would have happened. Because I had a trumpet too, you know? What would have happened if he never threw my stuff away? If he didn't detour my life in that direction. I still ended up doing movies though, even though he tried to make me turn into a. I don't know what they was thinking. It's like he wanted me to be a gigolo for sure, and then a dope head because he put me on coke. He must have wanted me to be a cokehead, right? Why would you give your son cocaine? So those two things alone, I mean, robbing banks. I mean, I really didn't get. I mean, I still made it into the movie business, but that's all because of Drive. You know. But see, there's three things. One thing is hope. Hope will keep you going.
Mm.
Will pull you out of quicksand. One, if you love what you do, because I've been helping people for years. I give people advice and I screen talent. I deal with talent. I mean, to hog the mic, but I deal with talent. And I always say, well, do you want this because you want to be rich?
Mm.
Is it because you want to be famous? Or is it because you have a burning desire? And everybody always try to give me an answer they think is going to be the right answer. But the right answer is still for them to learn because as they get older, that's going to change. But the answer they think they know
Hmm.
might not be the real answer, but they will find out because time will teach you. Time will is the best teacher, you know. So where are you now? Do you would you say that sax saved your life?
Not necessarily,
Okay,
because
so you're not there.
I've always been the individual who had this like burning desire, and I've always been a man of my own direction. I couldn't be easily persuaded to do negativity, and I've always been somewhat more of a leader than a follower. I've been
See,
in.
some people say, "Well, I found the sax, and that sax got me going." That's the thing I do. I perform, and the sax saved my. That's not your story,
No, that's not my story.
so I don't. I'm trying to figure it
What I'm going
out.
to explain to you
But you say you've been a street performer for years.
for like
But
at least 20 years.
and that means you've been playing the sax on the street.
Yeah.
I know what that money's like.
Yeah.
The sax is saving your life because it's putting food in your
Well,
stomach.
I wouldn't say it's saving my life. I have other
It's
sources of
part
like,
of okay,
I have other sources of like income. You know what I mean?
okay.
I teach. I do side jobs. I do like interior decorating. You know what I mean? But the point I'm trying to get to with this, like I said, I've never been a follower. I've always been a leader. You know what I mean? And many people try to put me in a position to go down the wrong road of life. But with my deep infinity of wisdom, I always say, you know what I mean? Every situation, there's going to be a consequence. You know what I mean? And furthermore, I feel every human being has got a gift. You got to find that gift and you got to mold it. I always say God didn't make nobody without a talent. Every human being has got a talent. Every human being has got a gift. You have to find it and mold it. And there's a concept that once you love what you do, you never do a day's work. It might be strenuous. I played until I was bleeding. I played until I get heart flutter.
Yeah, so it's kind of
Uh,
like you're floating around what I said as the question when I was saying about is it a burning desire? Is it, when I was talking about, I ask people, do they do this because they want to be rich, they want to be famous, or if it's a burning desire? But I didn't really give you that question.
hmm
But the points that you're making is that you're telling me where you stand,
Exactly.
you know, and I'm trying to I'm trying to shift it so that I'm giving good advice to the audience. So I see that you just said the things you just said. Say it again. You said one, um, you never been a follower. I don't know where that
I've,
came from,
well,
but
a lot of people um, get distracted in life, maybe in youth, maybe in the in teenage or 20s. A lot of people walk down the wrong road of life, and then they have to
from
pay,
being a follower.
yeah, from being consequences. But up to the age of maybe 19, 20, 18, I've always been a leader because this was always in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. It's been my passion. So I knew what I wanted to do. So it was just a matter of time before I start. In fact, I'm like you would say a late bloomer in music. I started like in my 20s,
Hmm.
but I put in 30 years straight. I put in 30 years, and many people try to distract me. Many people tell me, "Yeah, man, go find a real job." But I said, "This is my job. This is my passion. You know what I mean? So I've always been a strong-minded individual. I'm not easily taken off track. So basically speaking,
You stay focused.
I'm a very focused individual, very focused, and you can show me all your. I've had guys show me their gold chains and you know what I mean, the impressive Maxima
So it's
BMWs.
not about being rich. It's not about being famous. It's a burning desire. Yeah?
It's a
You keep
burning
telling me that basically.
it's a burning desire to be comfortable, and I'm close to what you call mastery of my instrument. Once I get to the complete mastery with time, you know, even though you never stop learning,
I need to talk when you let me talk. Okay.
yeah, it's endless. You never stop learning to conquer it. So for me, it's about to be comfortable, and then the rest will fall into place.
Okay. Let me just. I go. It don't make sense to me to keep saying I go if you don't say I'm mad.
I'm mad.
Okay, no, we stop. But anyway, see, the thing is this, right? Um, Sometimes, see, you remind me of myself in some ways, because like, instead of me going to school and getting a degree and becoming a certified board teacher, right? I took what I learned and just gave myself the title, right? So I met somebody that was a casting director, and I became his associate, his assistant. So I was like an assistant casting director. Then I started going around to other casting directors because I know they don't talk to each other. And I was like, look, I'll be your gopher. So I'm a mediator between casting directors. If one casting director say they want something, I'll go to the park and find that type, right? So I can learn something today, and I can actually give myself the title and teach it tomorrow. But see, the thing about doing that is like you were saying, when you perform on the street, nobody can compare that because it's not like school. You know, it's just like, you know, I've been teaching for 30 years, okay? So maybe I don't know the book, the college book way, but I know people from experience of teaching. So like I teach acting, I had some really good teachers. I learned some really good stuff and I taught it. But I learned a whole lot of good stuff from doing it, you know, so from experience. So see, a lot of people don't know you can make good money on the street performing. You know, it saved my life at one point. It saved me from my own ego, because that's really all it was. I moved to Cape Cod. I moved away. Then I ended up in Boston. Me and this girl, we was together, Connecticut, Cape Cod, Boston. We ended up in Boston. But as it turns out, you listen to me. I get distracted easy, so I'm telling you this for a reason, okay? So we get to Boston, and then she turned on me. We got the flyest house, yo. Even the radiator had a cupboard on it, right? We had a sunroof and everything. You can look up and see the sky. We had a beautiful place, a whole brownstone. And then she got a restraining order on me. I left New York to be with this girl. Right? We fight, break up, make up, went to jail, everything. She turned on me. I didn't want to come back to New York a loser. You know, I still had my connections. My grandmother was, still, you know, I wasn't even, you know, I just didn't want to come home messed up. So I was in Boston, so I went to Kenmore Square, which is the red line. You say you're from all over, so you should know. And Boston, they got Charlie cars. And on the red line was the red line at Kenmore Squares, right across from Harvard University. I was homeless and broke. And I remember me and my girl hanging out at Harvard. And I remember us getting off the train and how people used to panhandle. They used to come up to us and perform, and people would throw money in the bowl. And they had a truck full of nuts, like a coffee store right there on the corner. And it used to get packed. And I had money at one point, but at this point I was flat broke, and I went to Kenmore Square because I didn't want to go back to New York, and I started panhandling. with them. So what I would do, I started reciting my poetry right there on the corner. I would stay on the corner and recite my poetry, and they accepted me into the crew. You got people. It was like Fame on the like the TV show Fame,
Mm.
right there on the street. And I remember like today, it saved my life. That's why I asked you, did that save your life? But you said no, but because you don't look at it the same way I do. But what it saved my life because my talent saved my life. I, knock on wood. I went. There was an expensive restaurant right there on the corner, and all the kids, you'd be surprised. Some of them went to Harvard and got kicked out. Some of them had rich parents. Most of them had rich parents that disowned them, and they come from castle money, going to Harvard University and got kicked out and was homeless, sleeping on the Harvard lawn. And all of us used to perform together and put our money together and eat like kings right there on the corner. So when I see this, I'm like, yo, one, this person can make over $1,000 a day off the books, no tax, right? So even the building I live in now, I live in a luxury building. Luxury building, I can say it without even nodding. And there are people in my building who leave out the building looking homeless, smelling bad and everything. And they go to the train, they sit in their panhandle, and then they get up and they come to their luxury apartment. They live in a luxury building, but they go out and panhandle and make dough. I remember, I'm gonna let it go, but I seen this one girl, me and her was cool, because I would get on a train, and I know talent when I see it. And she would sing that song, on the radio, oh, on the a song by Donna Summer. Because they say,
Oh, yeah, remember it. On
yeah,
the radio.
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
But it starts slow. The way the song starts is like, um, damn. I like the way the song starts.
Mm.
It's so romantic, and then it picks up, and she would go. She would get on the train, cause if you see, I was gonna do it, right? I've done it. I've got money panhandling in other states, in Boston, but I can recite poetry. My poetry got me in movies. I've been in movies because of my poetry. I won awards and everything, so I know my shit is hot, but at the same time all you really need is to put it on video and let somebody see you.
That's right.
Because if let's say you play really good, you can make a demo, make a video, send it to Johnny Carson. Not Johnny Carson, the Tonight Show,
Mm-hmm.
right? Carnegie Hall, right? All of that is right here. Channel 2, CBS, right? They right there. Refuge Temple is a big church in Harlem. It's on 124th Street.
Mm-hmm.
They choir travel the world. They got a church in Africa. Yo, that church, you just go play. You'll love that job because they do church on Friday night service. The band gets paid and they travel. But see, it is. I don't want to get off the point, but people who do your hustle when you're as good as you, they not broke. That
Well,
money they don't pay taxes. So that's money that you might have to account for it. I don't know if you could buy anything big. Cause be like, where you get this money from? But I tip my hat off to you. You know what I'm saying? Cause I heard you play. I know you got skills. So you probably be killing it. Yeah, but you don't have a license, right? You don't have the permit thing.
let's say number one, I don't hustle. I don't hustle. I don't use that terminology, hustle.
Did I say hustle?
Yeah, you mentioned that word, yeah.
Okay, so you want to be technical about it.
No, I'm not, I'm being technical. I'm just being like, you could say professional or semi-professional. I perform on a semi-pro level. Because you see, if you use the word hustling, it's like you're chasing something. I'm not chasing. I
I don't
compromise.
remember saying the word hustle,
I think you just did. Yeah.
but I don't
You,
remember saying it. But to me, it's a point. Do you understand?
it's like
I mean, it's like it's just
a
like if I
terminology.
yeah, it's just like if I really wanted to make money, right? I could do a show and invite a Christian, a Jew, and a Muslim, right? I already know it's a tedious subject. And I know everybody's going to be debating and talking at the same time and over talking each other and all that. So I'm not being technical about what a word. You know what I'm saying? Because you might say hustle, just like to me, I say pimping. And people always they take it like I'm talking about some girl on the corner selling her ass. And that's not what I'm talking about. When I say pimping, to me, everything is pimping. When I go to work for Con Ed is pimping me because they're getting me to work and they get to pay me. So Con Ed is pimping me. And I'm pimping Con Ed because I'm working and I'm getting a salary. So to me, everything is pimping. Do you understand? So when I say hustle, you might call it whatever you want to call it. But if I go to work and I punch a clock, that's a hustle. To me, it's a hustle. I'm not gonna be technical of what your opinion is of what that word means. Whether it means chasing something. Anytime you do anything to put food in your mouth and bread on the table or coat on your back, it's a hustle. Like this right here, I don't make any money off of this. I don't make any money off of this. And it doesn't, but see now, it doesn't really cost me any money either. But it does cost me transportation and time. But see, I have the big picture in mind. And it's funny because when I first started doing this, I wanted to make money, but not off the show, but from the connections that I made on the show. Because I've been there. I know what it's like to have Warner Brothers offer you a contract. You understand? I know what it's like to have a Hollywood agent sign you. I know what it's like to join the Screen Actors Guild, to sign an exclusive union. I know what it's like to travel to the West Coast first class and get paid for everything. I made about 200 grand as an actor. So I've made accomplishments. So I know I can say what I want to say from my opinion because I can back it up. Like a lot of people get up and have mad egos but don't have nothing to back it up. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a student in here, he's so arrogant, but when it comes time to do action, he started laughing, you know? But the bottom line is that everybody has to overcome obstacles. I just think life is like that because God, you can get a blessing today, and then something just go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like just out of nowhere, fucking car breakdown.
And again, it could go right.
Yeah, it could be
It could go right.
tragic, or triumphant.
Yeah, it could go right.
Do you have music that inspires you?
You mean like other artists?
Okay, you're so big, Willie. I can't even get up there. I can't even reach your level. Like
Yeah.
for instance, right? For instance, right? Music. I have to say it. Sometimes I be thinking really bad things, and I have so much anger in me that when it gets triggered, I get like racing thoughts. I'm bipolar, right? So I'm bipolar too. Racing thoughts means it's like you put fire under a pan, and you know how the pan just keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter. That's me. The thought won't go away. It just keep nagging me, nagging me, nagging me, nagging me. So music helps me calm down. Music calms the savage beast. It calms the savage beast in me. So I have go-to songs. Like if I'm pissed, I have music that I can play to help me get it out.
Well, let me answer the question that you mentioned. You mean that if I have songs
Your
from a
go-to
certain period
song.
of time,
Like
well,
songs you go to
yeah,
for when
I'm
you're in
gonna
a certain
explain. I'm gonna
mood.
explain. Like, well, I'm a lover of the 70s and the 80s R&B. George McCrae, Gwen McCrae, but the music of the early 90s, Quincy Jones series, to me that was just magic. Saxon, Secret Garden,
Oh, yeah, with Barry White
that 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 period,
and the dude from the Barge.
that period of time for me was like,
Because you just mentioned like three different time periods.
yeah,
Keep
yeah.
it simple. You just went
No,
from like
but
dinosaur age to
no,
now. But good,
but I'm
good.
giving you what I felt.
All right, so give me a. All right, so look, for instance, right? If I want to motivate myself, I'll play Sing Sing Sing. You know that song? Sing Sing Sing, right?
By who? Michael.
Um, Betty Goodman, Benny Goodman. You know who Benny Goodman
Oh
is?
yeah.
Okay, wait.
I just mentioned exactly what I
Sing
felt.
Sing Sing. Wait,
Sing Sing.
no, this is Mambo. Here it is, right here. This is it.
Yeah. Big band song, swing.
This one particular song,
Yeah.
cause like if you hear it right, it'll snap you out of it. If you, how can you be depressed with a song like this? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It just
But see, that works for you.
no. I'm not. I'm not. So that's all I can speak for
Yeah,
is
yeah.
me. I can. I'm asking you, what's your go-to
I
songs?
just told you, Quincy Jones,
Now you
early
telling me a
'90s.
bunch of. You telling me a whole time period.
Yeah. Well, I'm
I'm
giving you.
asking you for a song.
Yeah.
See, this is a Pacific song.
All right, then I'll break it down. Quincy Jones, Secret Garden.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so when you hear that song, what does it do for you?
Keeps me serene. It makes my. It makes me think like I'm on a different planet.
Quincy Jones' Secret Garden.
You know. And I think from that's like early '90s.
Quincy Jones' Secret Garden.
Okay. When I was in school, I went to a school called Talented Unlimited. It was at Julia Richmond High School. And there used to be a thing called the Traveling Troupe. And the music guy, I can't think of his name right now, he was the man. And he loved Quincy Jones. And we used to sing Quincy Jones songs. And we would travel from hospital to hospital, convalescent home, old folks home. We went to one place, it was like a veterans hospital where the guys were missing parts and stuff. And one guy had no arms and no legs. And he was just bobbing his head to the music. He was having a good time. And we sang our ass off for them.
Yeah.
Yo, we rocked it. I'll never forget it. But this reminds me of that Secret Garden, Quincy. That whole album reminds me of those days. Okay, yeah, I remember this.
That period for me was like.
I play along. Okay, okay, now watch this. Okay, it's not really what I would do, but I'm gonna try this. All right, Secret Garden instrumental version.
Secret Garden instrumental version.
Okay, okay, I'm gonna say my poetry,
Okay.
and I want you to jam with me. Wait, okay. I don't know which one to do. Let's just try it. Ready? All right. A lover's plea till death do us part. She was more beautiful than any fantasy I had ever dreamed. When she looked at me, she seemed to stare into my soul. There was nothing. There was there was nothing I could do but give her all of me. I guess that wasn't enough. At night, when I tried to approach the altar of God, my mind would think about her kiss, the softness of her skin. I'm trying to mix with you, man. I can't wait for you. You can't wait for me. Okay, that's very slow, right? Okay, but it's a sax. But I remember when I was young, I had a friend that played the sax. Cause the good thing about I went to a place called the Door too, and the Door, you might want to go there and teach. You say you teach, right? It's on your answer machine. You ever heard of the Door? It's called the Door, right? And it's called the Center of Alternatives. And I went there from the age of 12 to 21. It's kind of like Hope House from back in the day, where kids with problems go there. You know, they help them with housing, but the Door does everything. It helps. They have free music. They teach you every music instrument. That the whole, just like how this is, they got the whole music set up. They got video, photography, art, silk screening. If you want to make T-shirts, if you want to make all of that. They teach art. They teach gymnastics. They teach dance. They teach drama. Um, Learning center. English is a second language. That's a good place to go work. Like if you want to teach sax, they'll probably eat you alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably hire you right on the spot. You go there, but my technique is always play the middle. I always play the middleman. And I got this thing, I call it the two phones. But that's a different lesson. But I will work for free, always works.
Mm.
Volunteering will get you in the door. You know what I'm saying? If you go there and say you want to volunteer for a couple of months, before you know it, you'll be a professor at the place and get a real salary just to teach sax. I know they probably need a sax teacher. I know they probably got a piano teacher already, guitar already. I don't know if they got a sax, but I know they teach. You can look it up. I know it's on 555 Broom Street. I went there. That's how I got discovered.
Yeah.
That's how I got Lean on Me, the movie. Because I went to the Door. I went to Talent Unlimited. I was a dancer, but I had flat feet because I was playing basketball too. So I couldn't point. So she said, you need extra lessons. So I went to the Door. After traveling through, after TU and nursing, I went to the Door late at night. Came home at 10 o'clock at night. I had to go straight to the tub and soak
Whoa.
every night from all the soreness from exercising from 7 in the morning to 10 at night, almost every day. But yeah. So, yeah, that's like my song when I want to get up and go.
Mm-hmm.
Sing, this, dun, dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun,
yeah,
dun, dun,
yeah.
dun, dun,
Up
dun.
tempo, big band.
Yeah, because every time I see that song, it's money. Do you ever notice that? When they play that song in a movie, it's a big boat, right? There's a yacht. There's guys with tuxedos on. They always got money. It's like my money song. Look at that, making my hand itch already just think about it.
That's how you interpret it. Yeah, that works for you, you know.
Right, and then I got songs that help me cry.
And that's the big band period.
Right. Like
What
if I need to cry
Was
too,
it
I
what
got music for that.
1940s, 30s?
Yeah, the 20s, the 30s, black and white days. So you like Mood Indigo. Who did that?
Mood is mood.
Mood Indigo. That song. Who Moody's Mood? Who's that? That's a different song.
Yeah, it's a different song.
Is it? I'm asking you. You know better than I do.
I'm not mood indigo. I know.
Mood Indigo. Isn't that what's his name? What's his name?
I'm aware of like mood is mood, but not mood indigo.
All right, who made the song Mood is Mood?
Mood is mood.
Yeah.
Um, the same guy. I think the song is named after the same guy. Oh, something mood. The guy's called something mood.
Remember the guy? He real black, real dark skin, wild hair. He played the instrument.
Miles.
Miles Davis.
Yeah.
What instrument did he play?
Trumpet.
Trumpet, right, right, not the sax.
Sax was
So play me one of your favorite songs, some of it.
All right.
What time? Not too loud. Like, I've been asking you to play that. Summertime. All right, cut. I'll go.
Okay.
Why you ain't tell me you knew that? But we've been bouncing around that song all day. I could have been mentioned that. All right, let's do it. I'm gonna do it with you. All right, ready? From the top. The name of the song is Summertime.
That's right.
Right. And this poem is called The African Drummer. Okay. Boom. Action. The African Drummer. His dark side is always shown. And his eclipse is just a joke. Okay, cut. Yeah, I got thrown off because don't wait for me. I'm a go on with you. So
Alright.
just go. That's the perfect. I know this song.
All right.
Okay, so let's start over. The African Drummer. Action. The African Drummer. His dark side is always shown. And his eclipse is just a joke. He has surrendered to loneliness, and it is seeping in through the walls of his heart. He is a man of color, yet he is not seen. His screams ride the clouds, but they are not heard. His sorrows splash on ever-flowing waves of peace. He sees through the blind man's eyes. He writes songs that only the birds can sing. He falls for the birds with clipped wings. He listens for the ones who cannot hear. His people's hands have preserved the sound of the drum, but they are not allowed to play. When they play, the hummingbird hums, the zebras dance, the monkeys swing, the lions roar, the panthers race to the top of the highest mountain, giraffes nod, flowers sway. Pegasus spreads his wings and flies. Warriors throw away their swords. Ancestors pray for resurrection. And the Almighty God in heaven cries. He is African. Is it better that he be born in the darkness of his mother's womb? Is it better he be born a slave, or that he die in the darkness of his mother's womb? It's not bad. That's not bad. It's not bad. But see, the thing is that um, I think that's why jazz people improv together. And the thing about like even when you're on set, let's say you're on stage
Mm.
and you're doing improv, it's not written, so
Mm.
there's no script. So we don't know what the next person's going to say or when he's going to hit a beat or pause. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all right then and there. So people work together. They keep rehearsing it so that they don't overlap each other, or because sometimes you just have people standing there yelling at each other. You don't get nothing out of it.
Mm.
You know, somebody has to act. Somebody has to react. You know, so I don't know how you're gonna rip. I don't know the rips that you're gonna do. The only thing I know is the part that comes back to the song. So like, you can rip as much as you want and go all the way up as long as you come back to that beat. Dun, dun, dun,
The hook.
dun. You know what I'm saying? So that when you do your rip, I won't be talking over it. You know what I'm saying? Like dun, 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 when you go dun, 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 and I know I'm right back to the song. You know what I'm saying? Like because that's the only thing I can follow is that the hook I know. You know what I'm saying?
Summertime. Da-da-da.
Right. But see, sometimes I'm a poet, so the voice can blend in. It can go nicely together. You know, but I have to know when to step back and let you
Shine.
add the extra. You know, they call it riffs. You don't
Yeah.
call it riffs?
Yeah,
What you call
riffs, solos, riffs,
it? Riffs, right?
patterns. So you want to try again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think I should try a different poem.
Okay, why not?
Okay, I'll try Black Woman.
To the same song?
Same song.
Okay.
Black Woman. Black woman of the Nile, hold your head up high. Let your colors blind the rapist's eyes. I watched your tears as they ran down your cocoa brown skin. They anointed the roots and herbs around your neck. They blessed the oats and grains in your hand. Black woman, you are ordained by beauty, and the seed of all creation is implanted within your womb. The moon humbly bows before you as the stars chant to glorify your existence. Clouds cry to purify the air you breathe. The sun rises in your eyes and sets your path. As you walk along the Nile, the panthers race to protect your path. Palm trees hang to wipe away your tears. Waterfalls clash against the rocks to express your emotions. Sound of the sacred drum echoes across the mountains. The essence of your soul soars with it. Black woman, your peace rides the wind, teaches the birds how to fly. Black woman, you are the answer to every lonely man's humblest prayer. The end.
Oh, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, I have to work with you more to get used to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah. That's not bad though. So your beginning, your middle, and your end. So playing on the street, right? Not bad, right? But see, I was gonna go down to 59th Street because 125th Street, the D train, from 125th goes straight to 59th Street. one stop. And that ride, you can make dough between 125th and 59th Street,
It's possible.
right? But see, the thing is, 59th Street has a police department built into the train station. So if you get a permit, you can perform right in front of the police. And you don't have to worry about nobody robbing you. That's the only way I would do it. Because I'm in a chair, too. But I get a permit, performing art permit. They got a whole bunch of organizations out there for people who want to perform. And you're a real artist, so I'm a poet, big difference. But yeah, I mean, after a while, you get tired of saying the poems over and over. So I was to record them and just play them. I'm in a chair anyway. I can just blast it to hold the cup out. But then somebody might recognize me, and I'll be like, "Yo, ain't you a producer? What you doing?" Nah, but yo, yeah. So, what do you think? What music makes the most money for you? Like, what songs you play?
Well, my favorite street song is like All in Oats, Sarah Smile.
Oh yeah, I like that. Let me hear some of that. I just want to say something. I don't want to forget. We down with 3 minutes.
Yeah.
What? Look, if you take like this here tape too, you can also use it because it's gonna be a tape of this. But there's something called the Mayor's Office for Film and Television. You know about the Mayor's Office?
I wrote of it. Yeah, I wrote of it.
You heard of it? Have you been there?
No.
Okay, so go there, right? What you should do is definitely take a picture of you with the sax and make a CD, right, with your music on it and your info, your contact, and leave it at the Mayor's Office for Film and Television. Okay. Now, I'm gonna have to take you through the ropes, but see, you can play in TV commercials. You know that, right? You can play in a TV commercial. Okay. You get an agent, get a music agent. You can do TV commercials and play music. Right. Now, also the TV shows need sax players because they have live bands. The TV shows Conan, every single one of them have live bands. The door you can teach there and get paid good money. Yeah, they take good care of their people too. Yeah, you definitely want to look up the door. But the Mayor's Office for Film and Television, you want to leave your information because every time they shoot a movie, they got to get a permit from the mayor. So the mayor has all the locations of anybody shooting on location. You can actually go to the location and say, look, do you ever need a musician? But you can ask for work, period. Driving, catering. You can ask for work. And like I said, I'll work for free. We'll get you in. Yeah. But, yeah, definitely. I was trying to hear the Sarah Smile in that. I didn't hear it. But anyway, I want you to say your information so that people can contact you. What's your phone number and stuff?
1516-633-3498.
And it's Leo Sax.
That's right. I'm available for bookings.
Available for bookings. That's right. Leo Sax. I want 10%.
I'll give you 50%.
15%?
50.
15. That's the most-
50%.
50.
5
That's not, I couldn't live with myself.
Hey.
That's robbery. That's New Edition, man. That's TLC. I'm not getting down like that. Nobody should get 50%. Managers get 20, 25. Model agents, they try to take 50, but nah. It's 10% finder's fee, as an agent, 10%, but I'm none of those things. I'm a producer. I produce new talent. I put the package together. Like, let's say you want to do a music video, I'll do your video. I'll cast your video, get dancers, right? Oh, you just made me think about something. And this dude is the man. I know you know about Sting. Sting will be together tonight. Now, this is music. The horns and Sting's music. You see that video? I'll do that video. I could do that same kind of video. See the dancers? You just made me think of it. I put you right in the middle with the sax.
Well, let's work out something.
Yeah, it costs money. Don't get it twisted. That shit costs money. Because, I got to hire the crew. Then the whole casting calls.
Yeah.
But, I like Sting. He used to be the police, right?
He was the lead singer, right?
Yeah, he write a lot of the songs, too. So, anyway, my number is 646-874-6597. Video number 347-500-2913. I am always looking for new talent. So I'm starting the Writers Circle. Well, I'm going to start grabbing writers. So I was thinking of the best of New York, Battle of the Boroughs, right? But instead of making it a Battle of the Boroughs, I'm just going to say the best of the boroughs. So writers, I want them to write, and then I want actors to act out the stuff that they write. So sitcoms, TV scenes, dramatic scenes, I have the actors. I'm going to form the ensemble. I'm forming the writers circle and the director's role. So directors will look and critique, writers will write, and actors will perform. That's the future for the making of a star, baby. You feel me? I'll go. I'm at. You want to say something? We got
Yeah.
2 minutes.
I like your output. I like your energy, and I think we share the same concept of like ambitious output, and all things are possible.
All things are possible. That's right. That's right. Now, see, we did this without any preparation, without any rehearsal,
Yeah.
without any script, and I think we did a fantastic job. So imagine what would it be like if we rehearse
Yeah.
and actually know what songs we're gonna play and what poems we're gonna kick,
Yeah.
and actually rehearse it. That's why I was trying to tell you to come to the house today,
Yeah.
so that we could rehearse. Well, we could do that. We can schedule this for 2 weeks from now. It don't even have to be here. We can book the big room so you can have the space, and we can really come with costume and really bring it down. But see, if you come to the house, you can hear all the different poems, and you can tell me what you think of which one. So far, what you've heard so far, did you like what you
Oh
heard?
yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I like it's very original.
Thank you.
Very original. So,
The African drummer is definitely good for you.
Yeah.
The words, you got to hear it from beginning to end. African drummer. But, I mean, I could just hear the drums in there, the conga, the conga and the instruments. But I used to dance on rooftops to a sax. I had a guy that would play the sax, and I would dance.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's how I would serenade my girl. I said, here, sit there. I have him the sax playing. I would do modern jazz ballet on the roof. I was off the chain. All right, so Making of a Star, the producer, the clock went back the other way.
It looked like it. Yeah.
I think we recorded another show. Hey, part 2.
Yeah. So.
I think the clock went around.
Yeah, so
But we are finished. I think we are finished. Somebody forgot.
until we return.
So I guess we will be doing some edits. Let's just play some more music then. All right, so do you know this? Do you know this album? Is this the album? This whole album is fire. This album, Nothing Like the Sun.
That's when Sting was young, right? Was no,
Yeah. Well, you ever see some people that always look old, even though they're young, they still look old. He got one of them faces. But see that album right there. That album is genius. Genius. And the good thing about him, he always have black players.
Yeah.
The brothers,
Yeah.
what was that, Winton and Bradford Marcellus?
It's a soulful sound, you know.
Yeah, they play for him. He having a whole all black musicians. The Police was him and a couple of other Caucasian guys, but his music got soul. But what I like about him is his lyrics. He deep. He get real deep.
He's always been a deep person, you know.
Yeah, the words are deep. Like Stevie Wonder, you can love every part of his music. The background, the lead, the horns,
Depth.
everything, every part of his songs is like rejuvenation.
Depth.
He put work into his music.
That's why he's a legend, you know.
Yeah, his songs live forever.
In
Yeah.
fact, I don't think he needs to make no more music.
I think I just have to hit the button.
Yeah.
That's a shame. She just totally forgot about me. Hello. I think I'm way over. So stop. You think we've been here over an hour?
Yeah, I think so.
It's what time you think it was when we started?
You check.
So what's next in the future?
Okay.
What's next in the
Yeah.
future? Like what do you?
I wrote a musical called African Moonlight. It's in the third year of our production. We meet like every maybe 2 months. I have no funding, so I have to fund it myself, which is somewhat challenging. We should be back in the studio in another maybe 2 weeks or so, maybe mid-May, to lay down original tracks. Yeah, 8-piece band, you know, three singers, one narrator, keyboard, drummer, and leader myself. As time go by, I will incorporate more people. But,
Okay, you kind of lost me. I'm sorry. Because I'm thinking, where's this lady because we got to edit it. If we don't stop on time, we go over and go back. I'm going to have to come back and edit and cut and splice. So my mind is like I'm trying to hear what you said. But you said you wrote your own musical, a whole musical for Broadway? Is that your plan to put
right
it
now
on
it's not in that region yet.
off Broadway?
Possibly off Broadway. Yeah,
And what type of musical is it?
it's gonna be a fusion. Jazz, blues, reggae, bossa nova.
Is there a storyline to it? A musical has a story?
Yeah, but the story.
Guy meets girl, guy loses girl.
The
girl,
story
guy
is in the lyrics of the song. You know, so that should be with like funding, should be out by next spring, next summer.
So you can't explain what the theme,
Well, I
the
I
storyline.
can't give away too much. It's basically called African Moonlight, and the lyrics of the songs is like a kind of a twofold. You have a band that's playing the music to back up singers up front, which is like the musical itself. So it's like a twofold, you know. Band and singers. It's based on it's called African Moonlight. It's one of my visions that I had a while back. So everything is really in process, you know.
That sounds good though, but I don't know. It's like if I say I'm doing a musical, and it's called Lion King, and they say Lion King. Oh, well, what is it about? Oh well, it's about this cub. His father was like the king of the jungle, and his father had a brother that was really straight evil, and the brother was envious. It's like Cain and Abel. The brother was envious of the king, and he lied to the son, who was the true heir to the throne, and tried to make him run away. So it's really a story about a cub finding his destiny and living up to his legacy and taking the place of his father and becoming a man. So that's what I'm looking for, is what that storyline is. But I understand you saying it's in the song.
It's in the song.
But is it still has to have some type of meaning
Yeah,
because it's
it
in
does
the
have
song?
a great meaning. Like I said, I can't give away too much right now because it's still in production,
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll just give it a title and basic outline.
African Moonlight. I don't know. It sounds like falling in a love story in Africa.
Could be. It could be. Could be. I think we're over, right? You press that?
I stopped it, but I don't know what time we started. I thought it was going backwards. Either way, I don't know if it's been an hour. You don't know exactly what time we started.
I think it's
right?
been over an hour, actually. I mean, you might have to call her.
We came here at 5:30. It was 6 o'clock, right? When we started, it was a little bit late.
Yeah.
It was a little bit after 6.
Yeah, so.
It wasn't 6:30, was it? It's now 7:30, so I don't think it was 6:30. We didn't start that late. I think it's been over 58 minutes.
I think you should call her, man.
Yeah, I did.
Should I get her?
Hold on, no, stay. Somebody gotta stay on camera. Excuse me. Can you tell the lady to come shut the thing down?
Annie. Her name is Annie.
Yeah, I think I'm still taping. It's been over an hour.
It's still taping?
Yeah. Can you tell her please come?
said a while ago.
What do you think I was saying? So, yeah. The Screen Actors Guild, the union, they have this thing called The Business, and they have videos on YouTube, and they do interviews with stars, and stars talk about how they made it, right? And then they also have screenings, and they'll show the movie, and then at the end of the movie, the star will come out on the stage, the director, the writer, and they always talk about how they made it. But see, the thing about it is, there are people who make money, right? Yeah, I didn't know how to cut it off. I didn't know what I was.
I showed you. Just
No,
push
she-
the blue button.
You didn't show me
Boom.